Hey loves, welcome to my channel. Whether you're new or returning viewer, I'm glad you are here. In today's video, I'll be demonstrating how to do a frontal placement when you are putting the frontal on the mesh cap, and also how to draw the frontal guidelines to achieve a glueless frontal effect. So if you think you are interested, stick and stay with me up to the end of this video, and we are going to learn how to draw the guidelines for frontal and the frontal placement. Okay, so first of all, you do your measurement as to whether you are doing it for yourself or your client. You measure the ear to ear, then you cut off the excess lace. So when you are cutting off the excess lace, you want to make sure that you don't cut the hair itself on the lace, otherwise you're going to have short pieces of the hair. So you take your time and use a tail comb to just create a line there. Then you use the scissors to carefully cut it. Just take your time when you're doing this. All you need is to take your time. Yes, so you cut on the right side, then you also go ahead and cut on the left side. Yes, so after cutting, then we go ahead with the frontal placement. So when you are doing the frontal placement, you first fold the frontal into two to be able to get the middle part. Yes, so you fold it into two equal parts. Use a T-pin on whatever pin that you are using to pin the middle part of it. Just find the middle. When you fold it, you are going to get it even. Then you find the middle, then you put it on the canvas head, the line in the middle, that's in between the middle, just the line in the middle of the canvas head. Yes, that will be the center parting. So you put it there, and when you are putting it there, since we are doing a glueless frontal placement, you make sure that you come at least an inch forward. Yes, an inch forward. Then you put it on, you just place it, then you go ahead, then you do another pin to secure the back as well. So you don't pull, you just align it to the back, then you put another pin there, then you turn your canvas head again so that you'll be able to see the other side of the canvas head. Yes, then you also make sure with the frontal, if you do not get an M shape, it means you are doing the wrong thing. So when you start getting the M shape just like this one, you know that you're on the right path. If you're not getting the M shape, you have to start all over again, come an inch forward, cut the excess leaves of it, and just start the whole process again. So if you do not get it, you can re-watch the video several times to understand it. So when it comes to the side part, you don't pull, you just place it on it. And the sideways, you make sure that half of it is on the mesh cap and half is on the canvas here, just as you can see. Yes, because when you wear the frontal, you are going to put it on your forehead. So we push it some inches forward so that and the lace can lay on your forehead when you're wearing a frontal, because you all know frontals lay on our foreheads, not on our hairline. Yes, so that's that. So on the other side, you just look at it. You make sure that you position in such a way that half of it is on the canvas head and half of the ear side of the frontal is also on the mesh cap. Sorry. Yes, you can watch the video several times to be able to understand the whole concept. Then you go back and make sure that everything is flat behind it. Yes, if you don't have a flat surface, you have to take everything off and then you start the whole process again. When you are a beginner, is going to look like it's something very huge, but then it's really simple. When you get you're like hang over it, it's just quite simple to do. So you make sure that everything is aligned and it's very straight and it's lying flat, because no one wants a bumpy wig anyways. You don't want to be walking around with, you know. When you are on this page, we just learn the best and do things the right way to get like nice outcomes. Yes, so after everything, I went ahead to braid the frontal down so that I can go ahead and just sew the lace down. Yes, and if you want to know how to sew the frontal lace on the mesh cap, I have a video on how to sew down a closure flat. It's just the same process, sewing down a closure and sewing down a frontal. I'll put the link in the description box, or you can check my page for that video as well. That video is also doing very well on my channel. Yes, so we just go ahead and then you sew it down with your thread and needle. I'll put the link to that video in the description box, so do well to check it out. So after sewing down the lace and everything is flat, we go ahead and draw guidelines. The first thing you have to do is to start from the ear. Yes, where the lace ends, that will be behind your ear. So you start the first guideline from the first ear, then you make it meet the next ear on the other side. Yeah, just as I'm doing, see, from one ear to the other side, you just make sure the lines are like that. Is the first guideline you have to do. Yes, take note of this one to make sure that everything is very neat, and after sewing you won't feel any uneasiness around your ear. Yes, so after drawing that, you go ahead and draw the other guidelines. You want to make sure that they are not too closely together and not too far apart, depending on the number of hair bundles that you are using. Yes, so this one I was using 3 bundles, so I could draw a lot of lines. So you just have to make sure that the spaces are at least 1 inch apart. You can use your tape measure to measure it, but since I've been doing this for quite a long time, I can just do it with my eyes and see like 1 inch apart. But I also post a video on how to use the tape measure in my next video. I'll be posting and teaching you guys about the 2x6 closure guidelines as well. Yes, and I'll be using the tape measure to draw these lines for you to understand very well. So you just draw 1 inch apart, just like this. Then make your way to the top. As I'm making your way to the top, you just use the same process and draw the guidelines below. It's just 1 inch apart, and if your bundles are enough, you can draw the last line I'm drawing, or just ignore it anyways. But if you think you want to use all your bundles, you just draw that guideline as well. Yeah, so that's all when it comes to the frontal guidelines. Just look at the top part of it. Yes, everything is so neat, and it just makes the whole process easier. So when you go ahead to your sewing machine, all you have to do is sew your weft on the guidelines that you have drawn. And mind you, it is guidelines, not necessarily that you have to go accordingly. Just make sure that at least you are sewing around it. But if it's below or up above it, it's fine. Just make sure that you are going according to the guideline, but don't limit yourself too much. Then you go ahead and cut off the excess mesh cap from it. Yes, so after cutting, we are going to pin the frontal back for you to see the M shape that I was talking about. So if after all this you do not get that M shape, then baby, I'm sorry, you got it all wrong. You have to start again. Yes, for a glueless effect, you have to get that M shape. You have to get that M shape in the middle. You see, just after pinning the middle part, you can see that M is just forming like that. Yes, so that is the M shape. Yes, guys, so thank you for watching this video. Stick and stay with me, and don't forget to subscribe.
Sitting on my bed, flashing, smiling, cast a wink. Losing track of time, feeling like it's been some weeks. Matter of fact, it's been 3 days since we relayed our thoughts. Heartstrings freeway as I replay our talks. Summon you over with no persuasion. I stare at the posters and make conversation. I ask, what's your language?